and Embiid, um,
Y-
Tobias.
Yeah, Richardson is it will be my second favorite.
Okay.
And then I'll basically go up from order of salary from there because when Simmons is off the floor, we haven't been shy about running point Richardson. So he's definitely going to be in play. He had a real good game after Ben Simmons went down, and that was in a very slow paced matchup versus Utah. Denver's not where are they at this year? Oh
Uh,
yeah, Denver is right behind Utah in pace this year, so it's going to be a very similar matchup. So I think it's there's still value in that 5,900. Like he can get you that 40 and get you that 7x that you want from those mid rangers.
yeah, these are the two slowest paced teams in the business right now, so it's interesting.
Yeah,
Uh, or excuse me, well, Denver, not the two slowest, but let's just say Denver is.
Denver and Utah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Denver and Utah. So, all right, should be a good one to watch. So, let's move on. Brooklyn is at Portland on Friday night out in the Pacific Northwest. Pretty high total at 233, as we mentioned. On the Brooklyn side of the ball, we all know the exploits of Kyrie. Kyrie has been killing it. He got a band of merry men and guys like Levert and guys like Torian Prince. Maybe even well, you got DeAndre Jordan as a game time decision with his ankle, so I kind of like to roster him from time to time if I can. Um, if he sits, maybe bumps up Jared Allen a little bit. There's some usable pieces. I like the high total. I like the late night hammer aspect of it. Anything on Brooklyn I might have missed?
Um, Not really. I think this game is going to be dependent on what happens tonight. If they have like a real close game and an overtime game versus the Clippers, that's Portland. If they have a real close and an overtime game versus the Clippers tonight, then we'll probably proceed with caution with this game as an entirety. But outside of that, you pretty much nailed it. Kyrie, he always enjoys these tough point guard matchups versus Dame Lillard.
Mm,
Um, and everyone else is pretty much appropriately priced.
yeah.
Kyrie is almost 10K, which is right where he should be on FanDuel. Um, again, the cheaper guys, Joe Harris, Jared Allen, if DeAndre misses. But outside of that, there's not much to love here.
No doubt. And what about Portland? Like you said, it is contingent. They are gonna. It's gonna be a back to back. They're in LA right now.
Yeah.
So we gotta see what happens there. But I mean, it's the usual suspects: Dame, CJ, Whiteside. We talked on the Monday pod about Scal a little bit. So again, depends on what happens tonight. They have some usable small forward dumpster fire pieces, as you've mentioned, with small forward between
Yep.
Hood, Hazonia, and Bazemore. But I feel like 11 game slate, you don't really have to get cute. You don't have to roster those guys if you don't want to. There's other value throughout this slate.
Yeah, I don't think I'll end up on any of them.
The one guy I would mention that again, it all depends on what happens tonight. But the one guy that I'd mention, young player, Anthony Simons. I really like the kid. When he gets run, he produces. He kind of comes on that second unit. Um, he's gonna be a star. I mean, he's gonna be a good player. He's just kind of playing behind two all-star guards in there. But I mean, he's only hit 20 minutes twice in the last handful of games. But even looking at that last game against Golden State, I mean, he went for 19 minutes. He had almost 24 FanDuel points, over a point a minute. So I really like him. Maybe not on the Friday slate, but like going forward, just as a guy to watch, at a low price as a salary saver. He can play, and I think Portland likes him. So just be mindful. I always try to look at be ahead of some of these trends, especially on the young players or developmental kind of players throughout the league. So
Yeah, I think he'll be great for when if CJ or Dame misses a game.
yep, he's a lock and load if either one of those miss. So all right, last game on the slate. In the City of Angels, we got the Miami Heat and we got the LA Lakers. Um, what are we looking at in this lowish total, the 215. What are we looking at from the Heat? They're not a team I really like to roster a lot of players from, but what do you see? I know they just came off the game tonight, so
Yeah,
what
they're
are
playing at Phoenix tonight.
yeah.
I think Kendrick Nunn still has upside at that 5,600. Um, Jimmy Butler has just been playing outstanding basketball since joining the Miami Heat. He's been doing it all on the offensive end, on the defensive end. He's got 2 out of the last 4 games have been over 50 fantasy points, and then 2 of the last 2 games were blowouts. So they've also been beating up on teams. This game is not going to be a blowout. This game is going to be competitive. Once again, this is one of those correlation games where if I'm rostering Jimmy Butler at 9,200, I need either LeBron or AD on the other side of the ball. These are just staples to the way that you're going to have to build these rosters.
Yeah, right now Butler's got 34 points tonight, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. On good old DraftKings, he's in at 45 points, so he is
Yeah, so
doing
he's going to
work.
eclipse that
So
50 again.
yeah, he is doing work. All right, you talked about Miami. What about the Lakers? Is it as simple as LeBron, AD? Even with Rondo possibly sitting, or he's actually out now. We talked about
Mhm.
him. It was questionable. Now they've got him officially out here. I mean, I don't like the point guard situation for the Lakers. I don't feel like I gotta roster them. Is Kuzma worth a roster on a Friday with this big a slate?
Did they bump his minutes limit up yet?
I was reading something on that, and see, last game he was at 21. I think he might be in that ballpark, maybe 25 minutes. I'd have to go back and look at some of the stuff I was reading beforehand. So,
If he gets to 25, then I wouldn't mind it.
okay,
But at 20 and 21, I'm not going for that yet.
okay, yeah. So that's some news to kind of do a little bit more digging in on Kuzma as a late night play. 4,300, yeah. If he gets to 25 minutes, we're talking the 6x. We're talking the 6x potential at 25 minutes, or more. So that's something to be mindful of with Kuz. Nobody, the other guy though. I hate saying this because I don't really like the dude. But Dwight Howard has really played well in his role. He's 5,700. Worst places you can go on center. He's averaging, upwards of about 22 minutes, 23 minutes. He's kind of supplanted JaVale McGee. Last time out against Chicago, he was under 20 points. But the previous games to that, he was 37, he was 27 FanDuel points. He's even hit a 40 point when he was going up against the Hornets on the 27th. So the ceiling is there if he gets the minutes. I mean, he's about a fantasy point a minute, maybe 1.25 fantasy FanDuel points per minute. So he's played really well in this role with this team. So I don't mind Dwight Howard as well. I don't know what you think about D12.
Yeah, he's fine. I think he's a little bit more expensive than I would want for his security and minutes. But I think the only other guys that you can consider here are the cheap shooting guards. Um, Avery Bradley, if he plays, I think is your best option here. But if he doesn't play, then it's a flip a coin between KCP and Danny Green. They both suck equally as much.
Exactly. I would
Yeah.
probably take Danny Green. I'm just biased. KCP really does nothing for me. He was in Detroit for so many years. Like he's just, no good. So no good
hmm
there. All right, so we have gone through 11 games, man. I'm tired. I need something to drink after that. That's 11 games is a big slate. One of the bigger slates you're gonna find on the season.
Yep.
Let's get it rocking and rolling. We're gonna build on FanDuel. We're gonna continue that because a lot of our listeners play on FanDuel. So let's do a lineup build. But with a little wrinkle, we're gonna try to make sure we get you in this build some value, some mid range, and then some studs. So I'm gonna let you go first, and you pick whatever player in this giant player pool you would like to see on your roster.
Yeah. So one thing that I just wanted to make like that I wanted the listeners to understand is that when you're building rosters, you always want to maximize your points per dollar. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna start off by locking in the guys we feel most confident in their opportunity to hit that value. So I'm gonna start off with the cheapest guys that I can possibly think of who have the highest chance of locking in value. And so my first guy will be Raul Neto. If we find out that he's starting, this is going to be the first guy that I will put in my lineups.
I'm just gonna say it seems like a homer pick, but I don't know.
Nope.
You
Nah, I
know
don't.
what
I
I
don't. I
mean?
don't play DFS with my heart, man. I play with my brain.
I know, I know. I had to give you a little grief, man.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So following that line, let me go to shooting guard. Let's find the most likely to get to that value. There's a couple dudes here, but if I'm looking at 5x and above, oh, 5x and above, you might talk me into this. All right, let's do it. Let's go Dylan Brooks from Memphis. He can get to
Dylan
25.
Brooks. I like it.
He can get to
I
25.
like it.
All right.
All right. Let me see. Any mid range? I can't think of any more like obvious cheapies. Because the other thing too is that when you're building rosters, a lot of people keep on thinking like for NBA, like you have to just be super contrarian, and that's not the case. You can win a tournament with six chalky players, and then the three contrarian plays that you make are the guys that are going to win you the tournament. So I'm just trying to think of
Totally.
what guys
Well, well, here's
are
one
going to
as
be.
small forward. You talked about your boy in Golden State. If you want me to go, I can go, man. I can put him in there. Your boy.
I'm not confident in those minutes though. That's the thing. I'm trying to find
Yeah.
100% confidence
Okay. Okay.
before. All right, I'll go to small forward, and I'm gonna throw Kevin Knox in there.
Ooh.
3,900. I am
Ooh.
confident in those minutes that he's getting. I'm confident in that he'll get at least 22 minutes, and I'm not as confident in the production, but I am confident in the upside that'll bring.
I like it. I like it. I like where we're going here. All right. All right. So we are locking in our value.
Yep.
Let's see
We can
here.
start looking mid range and studs from here because we
Yeah.
got
Yeah,
7,900
we got
remaining.
a lot of cash to play. All
Yep.
right, you know what? I'm gonna lock them in. I know I'm gonna probably watch this game. Oh, you know what? No, I'm stuck between two. I'm gonna go this way. I don't want to use narratives, but I see no reason why this dude can't get a 50 burger on FanDuel. KP, the unicorn baby, joined the squad. 8,400. Kristaps
Okay.
Porzingis, put him right in the lineup.
Yep. I like it. Um. All right. So we got two options here. One, if I go ahead and choose, I'm looking at shooting guard right now. If I go ahead and choose Jimmy Butler, we would have to go ahead and throw LeBron in there because
Correlation,
we
yeah.
yeah, I don't want to have AD and Unicorn at power forward.
hmm
That's just it's gonna be so much. So if we throw Jimmy Butler in there, we're gonna go ahead and throw LeBron in there as well. So I kind of took two picks at the same time.
That's all
But the
good.
other option, which we'll get to a little bit later, would be Josh Richardson at 5,900. I think he's the second best lock and load to hit his value at shooting guard.
No doubt, no doubt. Okay, so we got LeBron and Jimmy buckets in there.
Yep. So
Let's
we got some
see.
ceilings.
Yeah, let's see. So we got about 6,000 a player. No, I don't want to do that. It gets a little dicey in that range at
Hmm.
point guard. At point
Yep.
guard, let's see though. Let's see what we can do. Um, mm, mm. I'm gonna try something because well, you know what? Let me go to center because a point guard gets a little dicey on that deal. All right, so at center, oh boy, let's see. I think let's put him at let's put in. Can I put in D12 just with the minute?